There it is. We're live. Dennis Van Ingen, welcome, sir. Thank you for hand pink waving at us. I thought that would come through as an icon, but that's okay. But yeah, we'll give people a chance to like kind of filter in. But all right, so my wife is out of town right now, y'all. So I've been doing like the single parent thing a little bit, and so this morning I cooked the girls breakfast and our son, and we drove them off to school. And then as soon as I drop them off, I turn around and start heading back to my house. And I can see, I live out in the desert, so it's all very flat and you can see a lot of sky. There is a giant smoke plume coming from the direction of our house. And I'm thinking to myself, did I turn the stove off after cooking breakfast? So I start driving home. I'm like, it's probably not really coming from the direction of our house. I'm probably just paranoid. There's so many houses around. But so I keep driving closer, and the closer I get, the more I'm visually confirming, yep, that's definitely coming from our neighborhood. And then two fire trucks start screaming by us on the road. So I got to pull over and let the fire trucks go through. And I'm just following them essentially to my house until we're a couple blocks away and we're crossing this field and I can actually see the house where the smoke's coming from, and it's not mine. So I will say I have never been so happy to see someone else's house on fire than that moment right there.
Oh, nice moral.
I know. I think the moral is just I'm a terrible person, but
Nah,
that works too. But yeah, that's my thing for the day. How are you doing, Shai?
I'm good. I'm very, very, very good. I just, also, my wife, went to a wedding
Oh, nice.
with someone else. So that, usually that means I'm free to eat Doritos and watch TV, but not today. Today I'm with you. So I got the babysitter and I drove to the office and I'm like, yeah. So
Nice.
anyway,
I'm we're even better than Doritos though, right? Shai, that's what you're
yeah,
trying to
for
say.
sure. For sure. Yeah, that's much better than.
Thanks.
And
And we brought Dimitri on here for our first time. Dimitri, it's great to meet you. We were talking a little bit off stream, but really appreciate all the stuff you've been doing for like the Qwik Nx stuff. Are you part of the Quikifiers group? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I
Cool.
am, and
Do you,
I'm super excited to be someone who brings some next stuff live.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to see what's going on with all the quick stuff. It's like been this really cool thing on the periphery for me that's been really interesting, especially concerned with like everyone's interest in server side stuff recently. And I'm still confused about some things. Shai, I'm hoping you can help clarify some of those. I'm sure you will. But
that's
let
why
me.
yeah, that's why I'm here, dude. Like, Dima is the brain, and I'm the, I don't know, like the one line, it, one tagliner, one liner for quick,
You're,
something like
you're
that.
the
Anyway,
headliner. You're the.
no, not the headliner. The like giving one lines of like what is quick and why
Oh
is it
yeah, yeah.
cool and all that stuff. And but Dima is the smart person here. It's not
Gotcha.
not
So
me.
you're like the color commentator, and
Yeah,
Dimitri's like
exactly,
the play-by-play announcer.
exactly.
Got it. Cool. Well,
Shy is
we.
just shy, I guess.
Sorry, what was that?
What?
Shy is just shy.
Yeah, I'm shy. I'm too shy.
You're
That's
shy.
that's why. Yeah.
Cool. Well, very cool. We've got. I just threw in the comments here. Oh yeah, there's Yuri. speak of the devil. Yuri's in the chat. What's up, man? Yuri just did a live stream the other day on NX16, so a lot of cool stuff there. But we also this link I threw up. This is a link or a link to a video that Yuri had done on Quickifying Quick with NX. So showing some of the stuff. I hope we'll get into a little bit in this stream a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff around there. But Shy,
Shout out to Yuri
yeah,
who gave us the best tagline for Quickfires. the mystical community around around Qwik. So just to give clarity, okay? So Quickfires is a community of contributors, okay? That I started in order to help Qwik get adopted faster. For once we'll reach 1.0, because I knew that as soon as we'll go live with 1.0, everybody will ask like, where is the Nx integration? Where is the the UI component library? Where is the other plugin and such? Cypress and everything that was missing. And there are way more plugins that other people from the community have written, and they are like published and in our integrations section in the docs. But yeah, we started like this. What's great about Quickfires is that we're like one group, one big group of contributors to different plugins that help each other. For example, Dima is in charge of the Qwik Nx. Yeah, you love the AI generated logo that we did there.
That's AI
I just
generated? That's so
yeah,
good.
I gave it like the Qwik logo, and I told him like do it with like sunglasses or something like that, and that's what they came up with. So it was like cool.
That's pretty cool,
Uh
man.
yeah. So for example, I started saying like Dima is in charge of the leading the Qwik Nx plugin, but he also helped us with Quick UI stuff and
Yeah.
errors and stuff like that, and vice versa. So um so yeah, so that's Quickfires in a nutshell, and I would love to talk about, like, I think let's start from the beginning.
Hmm.
Let's maybe talk about Qwik. Like you said, you want to maybe learn more about it a bit, and then we
Yes.
can showcase like Qwik NX and the NX integration, which is super cool.
Yeah, yeah.
um
Before we move to that, Shy, what so is Quickfires? Is it essentially just the GitHub? Was this like a group on GitHub, or is there more to this?
Yeah, so we have this organization, Quickfire. So
Okay.
every all of the projects are under this organization, and also we have. I should probably put a link here. That we have a Discord. So we have the main Discord for Qwik, which is under the Builder.io server. So everyone from the community comes there to ask questions, to chat about Qwik and stuff like that. That's what you see here
Yeah.
in this Discord. And we opened a Discord for Quickfire specifically, so we could talk about specifically the plugins that we are building and collaborating, and we share, like, for example, the Qwik UI a repo or like project, which is the first native UI components for Qwik, and is going to be in beta, I think, in 3 weeks to get released.
Very cool.
That's something that we're developing in the open. We record our meetings and meeting summaries, and everything is on the dedicated Discord. So other people could like catch up and help us. So people are joining every day and helping with like components to get it ready and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Amazing group of open source contributors and community members. So yeah, so that's Quickfires, and we have like a separate Discord. And if you go to the Qwik Nx, for example, README, you will see down below the Discord channel for Quickfires and Qwik Nx, and under that also the Discord channel for Qwik
Okay.
under Builder. So yeah, so if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see,
Scrolling.
yeah, scrolling here. You see
There it
Qwik
is.
Nx Discord, and you have a Qwik Discord.
Cool.
So join both of them, and yeah, and welcome to the community.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, so that's Quickfires.
Let me copy that link. I'll drop it here in the chat too, so people can join
Awesome.
in. Also, while I'm looking at the chat here, Jack Shelton. Hey man,
Yeah, Jack, what's up, Jack?
is
Jack is
Jack a
one of
Quickfire too?
yeah, he also part of the channel, but he also helps a lot in the main Qwik Discord.
Oh, cool.
And it's very, very, we very appreciate, his help and contribution. So to Jack and Dominic, I see here also, uh, a community member. So lots of cool people. And yeah, so maybe I should paste the link in our Discord, and let's see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I will do that while we're talking, and we'll invite more people to join the stream.
Awesome. Valor Software, the person managing Valor Software's account is here too. So what's up,
Mm.
Valor? And
Pro-
Teen's here. Teen
Probably
is
it's Dima, not
Dima.
no
I'm
Dimitri.
already
Dimitri is Valor.
Oh yeah. Is that you?
no.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, Teen's here too. Teen does, I think he does a Flutter plugin for NX as well as a whole bunch of Java ones. And now I think he just came out with the Kotlin one. So we're hoping to have him on at some point in the future too. But yeah, when you're done posting the link, Shy, I want to go through just high level what is Qwik, because I'm super interested in this. It seems like it's very highly focused on performance, and if I can, from what I can tell, see if I can find like the graph. This graph is very promising, um, where hydration versus resumability in terms of time to interactive, resumability. It looks like this is like a log
Yeah, let
kind of curve.
let me stop you. Let me stop you there, okay?
Sure.
Um, because if I were like to come to watch the stream, and the first thing I'm hearing is hydration versus resumability, and seeing like graphs and stuff like that, I would like, turn off the computer, go live in Nicaragua and raise chickens or something like that. So let's start from the from the beginning.
Where do we start, Shai? You're better to figure
Yeah,
out
so first
like
of all, let's start with like, this tagline, okay, which is you know uh, like a year, like last year, I was trying to find how to explain Qwik in a sentence, okay.
mm-hmm.
So this is part of the tagline, which is deliver instant apps at scale. Okay, instant apps is something that I'm like trying to push
Mm-hmm.
for a long time now. But the main idea behind Qwik is the idea that it allows any JavaScript developer to develop any scale or any size app. Like it could be like, a very small hobby project or a giant, application, and it will load instantly with the same loading time, no matter how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, and it will be fully interactive, and and the best thing about it is that it's done automatically. So you hear about like this like optimization, right, or performance focus and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And before I heard about Qwik, I was always like, oh, performance, it's that thing that I need to do after I build my app. Just like, sometimes test people think about testing
Yeah.
as the same way, right? Like I'm writing my code, but it's a drag, I need to like add the test now, or add the lazy loading for the performance and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So Qwik basically removes that worry, okay, from your day to day, and you never have to think about manually optimizing your app when it grows in size. So that's the in a high level what is Qwik, and the way it does it by a new and innovative technique that is the first time it's been done in open source land, which we call JavaScript streaming. Meaning, just like in the old days when we wanted to watch a movie, right? We had to download legally, of course, like the
Of
entire
course.
video file, of
Yeah.
course. Not emule and stuff like that, but we had to like download the entire video just to watch the end of the movie, right? Like 3 GB of video.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, nobody is doing it anymore, because we have streaming, right? We have Netflix and we have YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, people are watching us live, like in the stream now, right? So
Yeah.
that's the revolution that Qwik brings to the table, with JavaScript streaming. So streaming is an overloaded term. We have like, data streaming, and we have HTML streaming, which is a technique from the 90s. But JavaScript streaming is, the first time that is being done in a web framework, where the reason it loads instantly, no matter, just like a video that loads instantly and you can start to watch from the end of the movie,
Yeah.
because it just loads the page that you requested, like with server-side rendering, like a technique that everybody heard about it at this stage. But basically, it's just like renders the page on the server, send it to the client, and then you get like boom, you get like instantly the page, which is not a new thing, right? Right, like other technologies are doing it. But the new thing is that once the page is loaded, a separate thread is open via service worker, and the JavaScript chunks of interactivity that could be on the page, like for example an add to cart button, or like some kind of a toggle, or something,
or just
something
like
that needs like
this includes like any on click function, right?
on click, on hover, any event handler that has JavaScript, in the event handler that needs to run, is being basically Qwik knows how to automatically analyze it, extract it into tiny chunks, and then buffer it just like video to the cache of the browser. So you get like instantly loading on a separate thread that doesn't block like the interactivity or the loading of the page. You get this like tiny chunks, and because it's tiny, it's like super fast.
Right.
And by the time you go and click on and interact with the button or the thing or the input, it's already there, and it keeps like streaming in the background the next couple of pages. So we call it predictive buffering, because it's like depending on which page you go to, it will buffer the next couple of like interactions. That's the genius behind Qwik, and I can say genius because I didn't write it, right? So I can like tell about the people who did write it. So yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, because one of the things I saw, and I think this was maybe a misconception, but I was like, from what I understood, I got the part where you're kind of like chunking apart the JavaScript, like you're writing your application in a way where, as a developer, I'm figuring out how the application should work. Seems like the framework is written in a way so that Qwik can take those and chunk those up. So only like we send only the pieces to the client that it needs, and those pieces are so granular that, like you said, it makes it very small, but it also makes it so that we can like almost perfectly optimize this in terms of what gets sent over to the clients at a time. But my hesitation was like, well, am I putting latency into like my on-click listener? I don't want that. I don't think that sounds great. But it sounds like the way you were describing the streaming, like when I go to YouTube and I click into a video and I start halfway through, it's not just that it's not like YouTube's going to stream for me that one frame one at a time. It's going to stream for me that frame, and then like I think like the next 30 seconds it starts like eagerly loading that in. I imagine probably something like that's happening, where it can say, hey, this button's on screen now, so let's go ahead and load that in because the person scrolled and it came into view.
So it actually it loads all of the chunks, the possible chunks on the page.
Oh, okay.
It streams it or buffers it, but it does it in an order that like what's above the fold or what's like gets loaded first. So it's like smarter about like the order of loading. And in the future, we're planning to add like the next generation of predictive buffering, which is actually ties to your analytics. So it could like predict what is the most likely path the user will take and will buffer those chunks first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but you're right.
Also join the chunks. If I'm not mistaken, it should also join those chunks together if they tend to come together.
Yeah. It's not like there's a bunch of separate network requests. I imagine they get batched over into.
It depends, and that's the part that you can actually configure. So think about like the current technologies. you don't have really a choice, right? Because there are like big chunks, and it depends on where you put the boundaries manually.
Hmm.
So you like lazy loading, so that part Webpack will take and like chunk it into like this whole lazy loaded module.
Right.
Or if you're using like a more like an island architecture maybe, or like with Astro, you will have to mark what is the island, right, and what will get like hydrated later and stuff.
Hmm.
But this is all done again manually, and it's not very configurable in terms of um, which which chunks can be bundled together, right? Because it's not granular, like you said. No other technology these days
Yeah.
can chop it into like a closure level chunk of JavaScript, and Qwik can do it. So once it's extracting it, it can like bundle it together, right? And it's configurable. You can say like, okay, my limit is 20K, for example.
Mm.
So chunk it into, and glue them together, right? Because after you extract it, it's easy to just concatenate them together. But with any other technology, it's not possible,
Right.
to do that unless you
Well,
completely like.
you'd have to manually lazify all the different pieces, and I honestly don't know how it would work with closures either. So yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's a lot. What drew me in, to join. So I joined like last year the team, and joined as a community dev role. Basically, I'm volunteering my time. I'm not, I have my own company, and I'm doing like an extra, time work just to make sure that, you know, um, because I believe in the technology, I wanted to help with, building a friendly community around it, and building an ecosystem, and doing like education and all that stuff, because I really, really, really believe this is the future. And it took me a while to get to this like aha moment when I made the decision, okay, I'm going all in on this because I really believe in it. And one of the things that led to this aha moment was realizing how many different innovations needed to happen together in order to enable this JavaScript streaming ability. It's not just this one thing of like, oh, we can like extract closure, which is a difficult problem to solve, because closure can point to other variables outside of their immediate scope.
Right.
And how do you extract it, right? And how do you solve it in a nice like developer experience also. And basically, like, we have the concept of hydration, which is another, like, these days the server-side render page, when you load it, you need to hydrate the page, meaning load the entire JavaScript for all the event listeners, all the things on the page, and execute that code at least once, so the event listener will get attached. And that takes time, especially if as your app becomes bigger. With Qwik, you never do that. That's why we call it lazy execution, because only when you click, the code is already there in the cache, and only then it will execute for the first time, right? So, and there's a lot more innovation happening. I have a course that goes over all like dynamic tree shaking, like all this new and innovation in quickschool.com. Me and Mishko created a free course that actually goes and explain into details like what's cool about all these things. But I don't want to take too much time out of like the stream, because we came here to talk about NX and Qwik Nx, and the integration between them. Just wanted to give like to share a little bit of what's exciting about Qwik, and why I think personally this is going to be a major part in the future of web development. You're muted, Zach.
Thanks, Jeff.
No problem. I can dub you if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Use that AI dubbing. Get me going. But yeah, no, it does seem really cool. I've been throwing your links here in the chat as we've been going.
Thanks.
But yeah, I'll have to check out Qwik school at some point to figure out what's going on with some of this stuff, because yeah, it seems very interesting. I'd love to know more at like a detailed level what's going on. But we are here to talk about NX, and I think like what Yuri and I have been converging on in terms of what NX is. It's like a way of helping developers be faster by caring about the things that they need to care about. And yeah, there's, as Jack mentioned, I'm excited to try out NX with Qwik. So we'll pull up that in a second here. But yeah, uh, one of the questions that immediately comes up to me when I look at Qwik, for example, and the questions is, well, how do I get started? I guess right here, there's the button right here to npm create Qwik at latest. I imagine that's going to go out and create a new workspace, like a new repo.
No. So yeah, it will create. This is the CLI for Qwik. This
Mm-hmm.
is a CLI that was written with like without NX.
Right.
And again, one of the things, it's kind of what we want to also share is like, how we got to build like Qwik Nx. Why did we want to do that? And I have my point of view, and I would love to hear also Dimitri's point of view on how we got here. But if I can summarize, like my like point of view was that when after soon after I joined, because I'm coming from like Angular development and still part of the lovely Angular community. Um, in Angular, we're gotten spoiled, right? We gotten used to having like auto migrations between versions and stuff like that. And so that's the first thing I missed having in Qwik, because especially in the last year, when versions kept like every week you had like new version, new breaking changes, all that stuff. I really
Mm.
wanted something that I could do like NX migrate, and it will migrate my Qwik project to the next version with all of the dependencies, and actually it'll go over and migrate automatically all the breaking changes and all that stuff. So that was like my main first or main motivation to somehow integrate NX and Qwik
Mm-hmm.
for that ability. And then later, because I work as as a consultant, an educator with like enterprise level companies, and a lot of them are using NX, and I knew that like an integration with NX that allows an easy way to generate like new libraries with the same same template, to support executing multiple folders for like a micro front end environment, or all this like great stuff that NX allows you to do. I knew that we will need it in order to also get adopted faster in the enterprise world, and not just like with like hobby projects or like small startups that want to try out the framework. So that was a personal thing. I want like all of the Quickfires projects are built with NX as the infrastructure,
Oh,
because
cool.
it's much easier to maintain and develop. And we also like integrated with shout out to Eunice Jadi for the lovely Semver plugin for managing versions and deploys and stuff like that. So we use that to manage our open source projects. And yeah, as you can see,
Yeah, I was looking at Qwik
and
UI here.
yeah,
This
Quick
one's
UI is
very
NX.
interesting to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And soon this like not you don't use it for production will disappear, because it will be production ready. So I wanted it for like selfish reasons, because I really love NX, and I wanted the ease of development for myself and for the Quickfires, and also for a strategic thing for Qwik itself to get adopted faster and and sooner. So yeah, so that's my point of view. And then all of a sudden, my friends at Valor Software, which is a great company, if you ever need consultants and really great developers that works there, they reach out to me and said like, hey, we have a client that needs, that wants Qwik, but they have NX. We thought about like developing stuff. I already started like, a base project like for the Qwik NX, but I did like 70 things at once, so I never like continued with it. And then that's how I met Dima. So Dima, you want to take it from here?
Nice.
Yeah. So as you may have guessed, I was at that client company that needed Qwik at that point of time, and actually we have a big NX monorepo with lots of Angular code, and at some point we started a new effort with Angular, and Qwik was a deep beta at that point of time, I guess, and we wanted to try Qwik as a POC maybe in parallel to developing an existing solution. But we couldn't obviously do it. We could not reuse existing code base. So we understood that we need an integration for NX. And obviously, it's better to do it as an open source project. Shout out to Ryan Hutchinson from ACI for letting us doing it, and because he let us actually work on the Qwik Nx as an open source project for me for a full time. So yeah, pretty cool. And after a few months of hardly coding, we had a working solution that you see right now.
Yeah, I'm very excited to check this out because in particular, one of the things that this plugin introduces is the idea of a preset, which is something I was really excited about. Is something that NX supports now, which is, well, let me actually open up a terminal and we can take a look. So we had seen on the Qwik website, there was the npm create script to run. I guess that would give you like a repo that was just not NXified, right? But it'll give you a starting point for a Qwik workspace. But with NX, we run the command npx create NX workspace, and we can like just give the at latest here. But now we can also add the preset option. And because, what is this published to npm as? Is it just Qwik Nx?
Yeah.
Yep. So we can just give the name of the package as it's published to npm. And this will check if we scroll back here. Sorry, I'm going through all those different screens, but
How many screens is
I have
that?
too many screens, Shy. I'm sorry. I don't know how they all got there. It's the same with my tabs. They just grow. And I don't know what's going on with them. But I think if we come into like our Qwik Nx plugin here and we go to like the generators, I guess I need this generators. We can see if there's a generator named init. Now NX is going to pull that down from npm. And yeah, go ahead.
It's a preset one, not init.
Is which one?
Preset.
Oh, preset. There we go. Preset. Got it. So if there's a preset, if there's a generator called preset, then we'll run this one whenever we run this command, as long as that preset is set. And that'll get us there. So I was pretty jazzed about this. Let's go ahead and run this.
But wait, there's more.
There's more? What else is there?
Dima, do you want to show it?
Yeah, actually, we have our own way of creating an NX workspace with NX. So you can just type in npx create Qwik Nx. So this binary actually wraps the create NX workspace package and calls it internally.
That's
so
awesome.
As I understand, this is the latest effort that was done by your team.
Yeah. This was something that we had actually hoped to land for NX16, and it's still in progress right now. I think the solution we came up for y'all was it's kind of like a shim, right? Like this is just pointing to the command to create an X workspace. So I think we're trying to land something that's a little bit more comprehensive. Maybe that's the right word for it.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah,
actually, right now I'm mostly using what NX has, the same prompts, same stuff. Uh,
yeah.
but with this level of flexibility, we can actually use any other like UIs or flows that we want. So we are not limited to do it in the way NX does it.
Oh, very cool. Do you know the way this is set up? Like, if I wanted to use like a package manager, could I do like dash dash PM equals PM PM? Like, this
Yeah,
is
it brings
a
exactly the same experience
oh,
as
cool,
creating NX workspace.
very cool. What should we name our workspace?
My repo.
My repo. Okay,
No,
fine.
no, do it something, do it llama date or do it like, something cool.
Will it be a
What is
bunny?
like something, yeah, something like,
Something quick.
yeah, maybe Qwik AI because it's a buzzword, right? And
Okay.
everybody will love it. We'll get
Quick.
funding, right?
Okay. I do
All right.
like funding. Let's go with that. So
Okay.
let's see if this works. We'll need to install the following packages. Yes. Application name, Qwik AI. Thank you. I guess we'll just do CSS here. Throw on distributing caching and creating our workspace. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we should have called
suspense.
it like Qwik AI,
A quick
micro
blockchain.
frontends,
Quick AI
blockchain. Yeah, all
blockchain
the
should have been
buzzwords.
the one.
Yeah, if if you can throw in the chat like all the buzzwords that will get us more funding, like crypto, blockchain, what was big in like machine learning, which is AI,
NFTs. That's a big one, right?
NFTs, right?
Yeah. We got quick GPT. That's a big buzzword for sure.
GPT, right? Thanks, Jack.
Oh no, it's quick may be my favorite.
Oh, Bruno has a killer.
Get rich
Get rich
quick.
quick. Nice one, Bruno.
Oh, yeah, we should have just asked GPT to
Right,
come up with a
right,
trendy name for our
right.
repo. But cool. All right, are we in it? Here's our quick AI. So I believe if my training has showed me anything, let me make this a little bit bigger so people can see it. But yeah,
Ooh, really big.
yeah, maybe too big. I don't know. We'll stay with it for now. Let me know if it's too big, folks, in the chat. But we'll just say serve quick AI and oh, there we go.
Boom,
Let's use
look at
one of
that.
these other screens I got here to
Yeah,
to
pick
throw
one
up.
of the 170.
It's that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Shy.
And how many tabs?
Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. By
But
the way, we need to update to match the starter app with the new starter app from, for Quake, which was just like added, very recently.
oh yeah.
But a cool thing, just a fun fact that I remember now, if you go to the Quake docs,
Mm-hmm.
go
I
like
forgot which screen that was on. Hang on.
ask ChatGPT. So
Which
so
tab is
just
it on?
just open a browser and hit Quick or
There we
something
go.
like that. Yeah, here. So go to the search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just like ask like okay, like the difference between signal and store, something like
Okay.
that. And you
It's,
see the ask, yeah, signal and store. You see the first button like ask Quick AI. Hit it. Let's see if it works. Yeah. So you have
what?
ChatGPT in the docs telling you, even if it's not written in the docs, it will scan the source code and combine it with like multiple sources to come up with the right answer for you. So that's quick. That's the real Quick AI. originally thought about by our one of our Qwik heroes, Ken Parsons, and implemented by the lovely Manu Almeida from the Qwik core team. So just a fun fact about Qwik. Okay, let's get back to Qwik NX.
Very cool. All right. Well, so we're serving. I threw up a browser here to check out localhost 4200. So we got stuff going on. How do I? Where does stuff live? I'm guessing in source here.
Yeah, so we are bringing the same experience with Qwik Nx as internal NX packages. So that's our goal. So you can just install it and use it as something from NX.
Yeah, you can use there's a cool tool called NX Console. I don't know if you heard about it, but you can use it for
I may
to
be
find out what
familiar.
to find out like the different generators and executors that you can use with Qwik NX, and you'll see the list of everything.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, one of
yep,
the ones I guess one of the first things I wanted to show was just like this is a serve, right? So I guess we must be using Vite, I guess, for
yep,
the web server. Now we can
yep,
see, these things are instantly reflected. Is this using hot module reloading? Is
yep,
that a feature? Cool.
yep,
And one thing that jumped out to me when I was looking through stuff too. So I'm in the project JSON. We could also look at this in the NX console here. Just look at here's my Qwik AI project. We can look at all the different things we could do. So we could build it. We could build the client. We can build SSR. One thing I was interested in, I see there's a serve target over here as well as a preview target. And I wanted to know
yep.
what the difference was. And from what I can tell, they're using, so this is using the preview server versus the serve is using the dev server. I actually don't know what the difference is there. So,
Yeah, I can jump in and explain if you want, but and then I would love for Dima to explain about this executor for like the build, because there are a lot of thought that went into coordinating like the different tests and all that stuff. But just a
yeah.
quick explanation about preview, and this is important for all of you quickfires out there that want to that maybe starting out just like their first project with Qwik, and not realizing where's the the speed. They promised us like instant apps, right? So dev mode basically it runs your app in an
Mm,
unoptimized way, and it's not like it won't be that way in production. And it's because like several reasons that too long to get into now. But the preview command actually builds the project for production, and then opens up a dev server that serves that production build. So you could actually see the instantaneous loading time and like the absolute optimized version of your app. So this is the difference between dev and preview.
okay.
um
So I probably wanted
yeah.
to do preview instead of serve when I kick this off if I want it
um
to be quick or
Not necessarily, because in dev
Because of
mode you will have the hot module reloading,
yeah,
but in preview you won't have it. So
I see.
preview is just like just to preview like the production build, but it's not going to update when you update the source code and stuff. It's not for development. But Dima, do you want to explain like the cool like coordinator that you wrote here?
Yeah.
yeah. So Qwik itself, if we look at the plain Qwik app, they define quite a few commands in a package JSON, and and they have npm build, which in turn takes a Qwik CLI, which runs a client build, an SSR build,
Yeah.
how to do a ESLint and a type checking. So quite a lot of stuff. Obviously, we couldn't use Qwik CLI here, so we were thinking about our own solution for the same purpose, and that's how we basically came up with our own executor here. So it does a few things. Firstly, before running anything, it will run the type checking. You can actually turn it off by specifying an extra option, skip type check. Yeah.
Yeah. So by default, this is false, but we can turn it on if we wanted, just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And it's also quite convenient because one of the clients that we have uses translations, and it's required to build translations along with an actual app. With Angular, for example, it's done internally, right? You have a target for that. And here you can just define an extra target and put it within this run sequence array after the build, and it will just invoke the target sequentially. So in some sense, it's similar to run commands, I would say, but we are also expecting more stuff for it to be done behind the scenes.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
the
and
way,
one
yeah, go ahead.
cool thing about it is that it also respects all the configurations that it was invoked with, and under the hood, it won't just like run the target. It will enforce the configuration that was passed to the build target.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that's quite cool. So I guess maybe some of the mechanics I'm missing, not being extremely well versed on Qwik, is seems like in order to run a build, we'll need to build the client, and then we'll need to build the SSR. Yeah, I guess that's probably the server. Yeah, and then put those together into one distributable right here. Is
Yeah.
that essentially what's going on? Okay, cool. So and looking at the the preview target here, like this executor, actually this isn't specific to the NX Qwik or the Qwik NX projects. It looks like this is just using the NX Vite plugin, and we're just saying use the preview server, but here's the build target, the build. So that's actually pointing to this target up here. So we're going to run that build, and we're going to run a server using this as like the way of building the distributable from that.
Yeah, the preview basically it comes from Vite natively because it has like a preview step. Most of the time in other like frameworks that I saw, you need to build and then preview separately. So preview, but the way Qwik is built on top of we have core in the core we have Vite plugins that basically execute Vite as a Qwik as a Vite plugin. So all like the optimizing of the JavaScript chunks and all that stuff, and also have another plugin for basically the file-based routing and the data loaders and server functions and all that stuff. So they are like Vite plugins, and because they are just Vite plugins, we can
Right.
leverage a lot of the Vite commands and configuration and all that stuff right out of the box.
Yeah. That's well, it's great to see that these building blocks picked up, especially in building something so cool. So yeah, that's really neat. Just jumping into the comments here real quick. Shout out to Elaine.
Elaine and Giorgio is here. Nice.
Very nice. And yeah, Giorgio. Uh, and yeah, one thing Yuri pointed out here, this was something I was thinking too as soon as I saw it. So the idea was whether we could use depends on, because right now, like there's the task graph integration that we have, that will like the idea would be to visualize the tasks and how they depend on each other. So right now, the build, actually we can't see the dependencies, but in reality, it's really depending on like the build client and the build SSR steps. So it
Yeah.
would be cool to figure out how to integrate that better. But yeah.
It was actually done in that way initially before we had an executor. but it didn't play too well. Firstly, because of the type checking that should be also done as a separate step, and like we would end up chaining a lot of stuff together, which is not really convenient to simply bring you a build application. So from the flow that you would expect from a building, it should just execute the build target. It should not like highlight those details of how exactly it builds up.
Yeah.
And moreover, you would have to run an X build SSR upname, right? Which is again not the best approach because you literally want to build. It's not a specific SSR thing.
Yeah.
But the problem was also with the configurations, no? Like how to pass the configuration, or it
Uh,
wasn't like that. It depends on
yeah,
like
well,
multiple tasks, right? We had like multiple tasks we want to do, and also pass the configuration. That was the requirement.
yes, exactly. I actually have a PR somewhere for an X repo to be able to depend on different configurations of the targets. So maybe if it's merged at some point, it will simplify a bit this configuration too.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Yuri says, we'll need to look into it. But yeah,
Will be awesome.
that's an interesting piece of this all for sure. But yeah, it's like you said, it is nice to have just a single command here that's going to go out and run the build sort of atomically without really having to break that up any further. So yeah. But yeah, one thing I wanted to show off, and this is one of the things I love to do for a lot of the new apps, because I'm a Tailwind man myself. Shy, are you? What's your stance on Tailwind? I'm curious,
Oh,
actually.
shots fired.
Do you
No.
like it or no?
I actually like it. I at first, once you learn how to do code reuse and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like wrapping with components, or like with like uh just like classes that like combine all the others, all the other classes.
Mm-hmm.
That yeah, it's actually very convenient. I just like build in one day like the one pager of Quick School, and it was very convenient to do it responsive, like in a responsive way and all that stuff. So shout out to all the Tailwind haters out there.
Take that,
So
Yuri. What have we done? But
but before we jump to the specific like integration and stuff like that, just
yeah.
just before that, there are two things that I want to make sure that we maybe cover. First of all is there are a lot of things that when we tried, so I started dog food Qwik Nx on Qwik UI, and also on another demo project that we had for Qwik called the Dream Demo, which basically showcased micro front ends with Cloudflare workers that actually like separating the render into like parallel on the server side, and render different parts of the page in parallel, and it was like a great demo. And because it was micro front ends, I tried to use Nx for it, and I ran into some issues. And then Dima picked it up and actually created a working implementation via Qwik Nx, which we can show later on. But for Qwik UI specifically, we had problems, because Qwik wasn't built for the use case of Nx, okay, because
Mm-hmm.
it has like the specific requirements of how to where it looks for stuff and stuff like that. So we need to come up with a solution that will bridge Qwik and Nx together with Vite. So Qwik will know how to look for dependencies, which are basically in other libraries or folders in the same monorepo. So we created this Qwik Nx Vite plugin, just to be able to let, first of all, by default, let Qwik search for, for example, in Qwik UI, we wanted one package, like we have a Tailwind implementation. Oh, Tailwind! Oh my God! Anyway, we have like the implementation that relies on our headless package. Right, it's built on top of that, so we needed to connect those together and to import stuff like the NX way, right? We're just like with the TypeScript path. But Qwik wasn't liking it and didn't want to compile. So yeah, so that's a cool way. And also Dima modified it further more and added other cool capabilities. So I think, like, if you want to share, Dima, just like a one, like a pro tip, for anyone who will pick up a Qwik Nx, so they will be more efficient. Go ahead, Dima, if you want to share
Yeah.
your screen.
I guess we can hold on a bit with sharing my screen for the plugin stuff. So I would rather Zach created a few more leaps to the repo that we were using here.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So you want to generate some libraries? Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Okay. Let's do that. So I'm using the NX console here, but type in Qwik. That'll filter us down to the Qwik NX ones, and we'll go to the libs. So we can do
Just library.
Yeah.
Let's hold on a bit with React.
Sounds good. What's our library name? Let's call this one GPT. Yeah. And should we make it buildable?
I guess no, because we want to really leverage the buildable capabilities here.
Gotcha. Well, we'll just do just regular GPT then. And the way the NX console is going to work, as you fill out this form, like if we say this is GPT-4, we're actually going to run a dry run of what this command would have done for us. So we can kind of preview what the changes would be before we actually do them. But this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit run.
It's worth mentioning. I really saw a few people using it. I added a configuration to have a dry run as a separate button here in Next console. I feel like it's way more convenient to go that way. So you can just check it out.
Yeah. So like the idea would be there's a run here, but then there's another dry run next to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I'll have to talk to Johnny Toronto about that. He's the guy doing all the him and
No,
Max are doing a lot of the NX
it is there.
Stuff. It's there already?
Yeah.
Where is it? What's that?
In the settings.
In the settings?
Of VS Code, yeah.
Let's see. Settings. And how do I get into the settings for a specific plugin? I don't know if I know that off the top of my head.
You have to scroll, I guess, on your left.
VS Code. Oh.
No, I mean, you can just search for NX console if you want.
Oh, here?
Yeah, in settings.
In the settings? Okay. NX console. Okay. X console. And then, let's see. Is it supposed to be showing up? Am I not seeing it?
I believe it.
I think you should remove the filter and just scroll down to the extensions.
Extensions.
Yeah, and then NX console, and then you'll see all the options.
Let's see. NX console. Okay. I wonder why they weren't showing up before, but
because it was filtered, so it only show you NX console.
Gotcha.
The options of NX console, which is
generator block list. Filter. What's the name of it?
Let me actually find it.
Oh, here we go. So turn this one off, you saying?
Yeah.
Now let's
if you have to
reload the UI.
Not reload, just close the generate tab.
All right, let's try it. Generate, and we'll go to Qwik, and we'll go to library. Oh, there it is. Cool. So we'll do GPT, hit a dry run. Oh, I kind of like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
All right.
tell it to your guys.
Yeah, I know. Should we make this the default? I don't know. Yeah. DenDP NX console is saying, yeah, who knew? Yeah, yeah. You learned something new here. All right, but anyways, the driver run looks good. Let's hit a run. And we should see source code or source control tab, creating a lot of stuff. Let's go to File Explorer. And I'm betting, yep, there it is in our libs. So we can see, I guess this makes us a little GPT component that's already exported for us. I might just try dropping this into the app here inside the index. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Let's do it in here, maybe. There's a lot of stuff in here. Is this the same
Yeah.
thing that gets generated by the default?
Like I said, it's not the latest. It's one like before the latest drop, but yeah, it's pretty like it's the latest.
Updating the UI is one of the things on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's all right. We're still got this going. So let's see. Is my surf still running? I feel like my surf's still running.
What do you know? You have an error.
I have an error. What's my error? Did I do something wrong? Did I save
Maybe
this?
it's not exported, the component.
It should be.
Maybe you have to restart the application.
What's that? Should I restart the serve?
Yeah.
I think sometimes with Vite gets a little tripped up when we create new libraries and then try to import them in with the hot module reloading. But let's see.
Yeah. Maybe you should format your hard drive and then try it.
Yes. Okay. No, I think we're okay here. GPT works.
GPT works. Nice.
That looks pretty cool. So there's that easily made us a new library. And I think one thing we could do here too is if we want to check out the graph, show full project graph. Oh, there's actually not a connection here. There should be. Qwik AI should depend on the GPT. I wonder why that is.
Actually, from the deb graph, it is. I mean, I'm not sure why it's not shown, but I was actually going to talk about one thing that we did that relies on the deb graph. So that's pretty much strange. It's not shown there.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about. Let me try running it this way. I'll make a new terminal here. Do NX graph. Does that show it right? Oh, that shows it right. I wonder if it's a problem with the console. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Look, and we can see where it's coming into as well. So the index.txt file is what imported the GPT lib, which, yep, that's right. Index.tsx.
Yeah, so if you go back to the Vite config, where the NX Vite
for the lib or for the app?
For the app.
Okay. So this is the plugin you were talking about, right, Shai? The Qwik Nx.
This is what makes the magic, and yeah, Dima added like a bunch of cool options to it.
Not really a bunch of, but it really serves a purpose. So basically, in Qwik, by default, you can't really import stuff from outside of the SRC folder. And to do that, you have to provide the Qwik Vite plugin, the one from Qwik, with a list of vendor roots, essentially the path of libs or sources that should also be processed by Qwik Optimizer. That's a Rust core of Qwik that splits, that does all the chunking work. Yeah. So Qwik Nx Vite basically does this automatically for you and tries to do it in a smart way. So it analyzes the dependencies of your target application in our case and feeds them internally as a vendor roots to a Qwik Vite. So all the magic happens behind the scenes. You don't have to care about anything.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's kind of like the magic of all the generator stuff in general, I think, right? Like by doing this, like I actually could have lived my entire life being blissfully ignorant of this Qwik Nx plugin that you made. Like I don't want to take away from the achievement, but that's actually quite of an achievement for me to not have to know about that and just say, I'll just create a new app and it'll work. And yeah, the generators set that all up, so I didn't have to know about that or care about it too much. I just literally all I did was run the generator like we saw, then I imported that into the index file, and everything just worked. So that was pretty cool, minus the hot module reloading stuff. But yeah, like they say here, the best design works invisibly. So
Yeah, and that's part of the genius of Dima here. So shout out to
thank
Dima.
you, Dima.
Yeah,
yeah. Actually, you can configure the behavior. It's just worth mentioning that you can provide any sort of like you can filter by tags, by library names, or apply any custom logic you want here. So it accepts a params object. And what is really convenient is that you not always want to provide all libraries as vendor roots, because there might be like types, utils, and so on. So it's not necessary to fit them in here. So what you actually do, you can do is put include projects with, let's say, a tag framework Qwik. It's an object again.
Oh, it's an object?
Yeah, it has tags here.
Tags. Got it. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and
this would be an array? Is that the idea?
yeah, that's an array.
Cool. So this would be... I don't think we created tags with any of our libs when we made them, but we could add them here probably.
You know what? Let's not add one here. Can you go to NXJSON instead?
Sure. Let's go to NXJSON.
And let's pre-configure a default tags for Qwik library generator. So let me, like if you put, if I'm not mistaken, it's defaults. Oh yeah, target defaults.
Mm-hmm. Target defaults.
Yeah, and here you can, if I'm not mistaken, just put the name of executor.
Oh yeah, so you're talking about, for example, the serve target, or?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me actually. I don't have a snippet out of the box.
by the way, after this, I would love. I think Dima, you prepared something to showcase the migrations, right?
Yeah, that should be a fun
Yeah,
part.
I really want to showcase. This is the most, that's the reason that I started this whole thing.
To get those nice migrations in.
Yeah, for that selfish reason of like not manually updating.
Yeah,
everything.
that's a nice feature for sure.
So I posted it for you in chat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can copy and paste it on the.
Oh, I see. So this wasn't for. Oh, does this go in the target defaults, or is this its own?
It's a separate one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So by default now we're going to add the framework Qwik tag to this library. So I think this won't retroactively add it to the one we added here, but
it won't.
If we were to make a new one, we should see it then. Yeah. Should
So
we create a new one here?
Yeah, just a new library.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show how you can configure on your workspace level the defaults for your generators.
Mm-hmm. All right. We created GPT-7. We skipped 5 and 6. We just went right to 7. I like 7.
Yeah,
7's
5 and 6 are
they suck.
they
Those
suck,
ones suck.
basically. Yeah. Don't use them.
We're ready.
Keep
We're
to
ready
step.
for the real AI 7,
Exactly.
and there we can see this tag was added to our library from now on. So now we don't even have to worry about it. Just always gets added from here on out. But like we were saying, let's go back to the Vite config for our app, and now we can add that tag. What was the name of that tag? Grab it
Framework
again.
Qwik.
Framework Qwik. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. There is it. Framework
Semicolon
colon
Qwik.
semicolon Qwik.
Oh no, just colon. Yeah.
Colon. Okay. Just making sure. Quick, like that.
You know what? To visualize it, you can add a debug through another param.
Sorry,
Just
say that again.
debug through. There is
Like another.
accepts a debug flag.
Oh, I see.
No, here on the like Qwik Nx level.
Qwik Nx Suite. So
Yes.
as this okay, debug true, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now we run. Now we run the serve again. Would that
Yeah.
be the idea?
You should see some new logs showing what exactly is included.
Yeah. Let me kill this one off. Let's restart the serve, I guess. Okay, there we go. Qwik Vite Nx plugin. GPT. Those are the dependencies. Projects
Yeah, so
after applying the include. Yeah, because that's because we haven't included this tag isn't on our GPT library, correct?
Yes, exactly.
So let's go add that in there real quick.
You can either do that or import a new library in the app.
Yeah, let's just add it in here. This guy press backspace a few times. There we go. And we'll just catch on save. Let's try rerunning it. There we go. That's really nice. The debug, so that debug true here is giving us these nice logs here, so we can figure out what's included and what's not after that. So, yeah,
Hey.
that's awesome.
Hey.
What?
What about the migrations?
Let's do the migrations. Sorry, Shai. I know
Yeah.
you're all about those migrations. One day
Yeah.
I'm going to do my Tailwind generator, man.
No, we will. We will.
No, we
do it.
won't. Get out of here.
No, we have like 2 more hours. It's okay. you know?
What? Okay. All right. We got time. All right. Well, so let me just I'll make a new terminal here. I'm going to just take all of our stuff. This is something I like to do whenever we run a generator or migration. Just like git add it all and git commit. Let's just put like Shai and Demi are awesome. That's a good commit message, right? And then there we go. Source code is completely cleared out. We'll clear this out. All right. What do we do to run a migration, Demi or
I
Shai?
guess it's better if I just share my screen for that one because
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we actually like had to migrate like a Qwik UI, and yeah, and it's a nice demo.
Yeah. Are you ready to share it, Demi?
Yeah, I'm actually sharing it right now.
There you
go. I took a snapshot of. So this is a Qwik UI repo. It uses Qwik Nx, and I took an older snapshot of the repo where it used a previous version of Qwik and Qwik Nx, so that we can just show how it works.
Okay. Can we check out your package JSON to see which versions we're on?
Yeah. There's some mess going on this terminal. Okay. So cool. It's really an old one for Qwik Nx, and for Qwik, it's one of the pre-release versions.
Gotcha.
So between this version and the latest one, there was a breaking change for the Cloudflare integration that is actually used here. So if we go to the not mistaken adapters, no, it's not. Shai, do you remember what exactly was changed there?
What in the Cloudflare? I think
Yeah,
the
over
first
here.
of all, do the trick with that Zach did with the quick with the Git commit, right? And then we could like just showcase the diff.
Mm, what should I do?
Like it's committed, right? And then we could like
Yeah.
showcase on the like in the Git like what has changed, once
Oh,
you
I
ran
see.
this.
Okay. So basically, you can just follow the same approach that you do to migrate NX. Like that for NX you do latest, but
Mhm.
instead of that, you can pass the name of a third-party package. In our case, it's Qwik Nx, and NX will actually migrate, run the migrations from this package instead.
Oh, cool. So it's fetching out the latest Qwik Nx dependency.
Yeah, and yeah, usually we before we had these migrations, we needed to first know how to, what the easiest thing that people do is just to npm create a quick latest,
Mm-hmm.
see what are all the dependencies back at JSON and copy those dependencies or diffing it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's
yeah,
rough all the time.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. So now basically after it ran, we see that there is an extra step for to run the migration. So it created, right, it should have created the a JSON file, right, a migration JSON to share with the entire team, but we don't see it here.
is
It's
it get
ignored.
ignored? Oh,
Yes, it
interesting.
is there.
Oh, it's get ignored. Okay,
Yeah, so
so it
I
shouldn't
was just
be
going to
get
show
ignored.
uh, the versions. So this is one of the awesome things that Qwik Nx does for you. We are trying to keep up with all the changes from Qwik uh, that they do, so you don't have to do it yourself. So basically, if you run the migration, it will upgrade all the versions for you behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting. So we've created our migrations JSON file, but we haven't actually run that yet. I was actually expecting for us to see like the dependency here, like the Qwik Nx dependency, go up. But I was actually expecting to see all the other ones actually come in only when we ran the migration in the
yeah,
migrations.json file. But this actually updated all the dependencies for us here too in the package JSON file.
Yeah, the
So
default behavior when you basically for the migrations is it will update the package JSON and then it will create the migrate JSON just for I think the code changes
yeah.
inside the code that needs, right.
So you have two kind of migrations. It's code migrations and version migrations.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and the latter is being done whenever you run the first command,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically applies all the versions that are needed to be bumped.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. I thought that was a step inside of the generators. Maybe that's older, but I don't know. All right.
Now,
But we have our migrations here. So the idea for these migrations is they would fix those breaking changes you had mentioned. I guess we could see the Cloudflare pages TS file there. Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, there you go.
exactly.
We'll run the
So
migrations.
basically, there was what I consider a breaking change in Qwik Nx between the versions we are migrating. So we actually added the type checking, and it can cause some issues for users because like your app starts to be broken at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are doing for that purpose, so what we are doing for that thing is we are adding an extra flag here to emphasize that you can actually disable the type checking if you need to, so your app is not broken at this point of time after you run the migrations.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, breaking changes from Qwik, we are also updating the code for you for them. So in one of the latest versions, they have changed what you have to export from the entry Cloudflare pages. It was on request, now it's fetch. Pretty much simple change, but
Mm-hmm.
still you don't have to worry about it yourself.
Yeah, how cool is that? You don't even need to know what were the breaking chains. Just run the script, and it's automatically done for you. And that is, one of the killer features of NX and also Qwik Nx for Qwik. So that's get me excited every time I run this command, and it saves me days, of work. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%, man. But yeah, Dimitri, I saw the path file was gone too. What was that about? Can you share that back up, or is that gone now?
Yeah, so basically it was used for Cloudflare previously when we are exposing the on-request method, and it's just not needed anymore.
Oh, I see.
Because,
Okay.
yeah,
So we could just get rid of it as part of one of those migrations.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was just
Okay.
deleted.
Cool. Well, that was migrations. So Shai got his punch in.
Yeah, I can go now. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
No, don't you like
Yeah.
Tailwind?
Oh, Tailwind. Okay,
Uh,
let's do Tailwind.
I love Tailwind so much. Why? In my
I love it too.
mind, Tailwind is what CSS should be. Like these things are called classes for a reason. Everyone else I know, they'll use the class mechanism, but they don't use them as classes. They use them as like a custom identifier to select some things. But
I just love what I love about Tailwind is that someone else thought about stuff for me.
yes,
like
yeah,
right,
exactly.
like they came up with the convention for the classes and for managing all this complexity.
Yeah,
Now I have to reinvent the class name for this button, and to then how to I reuse it, and all that stuff. So
yeah.
yeah.
Here's the piece I don't like about Tailwind, though. Let me find their docs.
Hey. No, I'm kidding. Just
We
go
can't
ahead.
say
Hot
anything
takes.
bad about them. Is that?
Hot takes.
Is this? Wait, is
That's
this the right one?
what?
Where's Tailwind CSS? There it is. All right. So this is the thing I don't like about it. I get bored after step 2. Right? This is how you configure Tailwind for your app. I don't really know what's going on after a certain point, and I don't know. I do know what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't like reading it. So instead, here's what I like to do. I like to take advantage of Dimitri's work and come into the NX console here, and we're going to find the Qwik Tailwind generator. I'm going to set up Tailwind for our app project. So that's our Qwik AI. Let's dry run that with my new dry run button that Dimi showed me about. There we go. Looks like, I don't know, I guess that works. So I'll hit a run. And because we committed right before this, we'll be able to see exactly what changed. Hopefully it maps to this, but I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm just going to see
Living
if it
on
works.
the edge.
I know. I'm living on
the Cloudflare edge.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Here, I think we should be able to put some, what was it? Text blue 500s. That's a good solid blue, I feel like. And we'll come back to our thing over here. Rerun the serve. There we go. That's also working. Let's see. 4200. Oh,
Boom!
That's some good Tailwind right there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, thanks for this 5-step process, Tailwind, but I like my 1-step process a little bit better. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's Dima Wind for you.
Yeah, thanks, Dima. You rock, man. But yeah, as Yuri says, automatic code migrations is the killer feature of NX, and many don't know about that. Yep. Agreed. So, So speaking of that setup, I do have the suggestion to also include prettier plugin Tailwind in the future. So there's automated class sorting. I actually haven't used that. I feel like I am aware of that plugin, the prettier plugin. So that'll make it so if we have a bunch of these in here, like text, Excel, what is it? Text center, maybe. So put all these together. Before you know it, there's going to be a lot of them in here, and you might want these to be ordered in a nicer way so that
I
they're
see
more.
some heads exploding in Twitter right now, like for like adding more classes and more classes and stuff like that. And shout out to Marcus, which is a Shioi Negai, right? The guy who asked the question.
Yeah.
He's part of the Quick UI team and
Oh,
he's
awesome.
done fantastic work. So thank you, Marcus, and we love you.
Thanks, Marcus. But yeah, I love showing that off because I like using Tailwind. That setup's always the killer piece for me, and then figuring out how to like run it all in tandem so that Tailwind does its thing where it filters out to only the classes that you actually use, so it doesn't blow up your bundle sizes and all that stuff. I never know how to set that up quite right, but thankfully Dimitri does, and he fixed it for all of us. So that's pretty awesome. I think I
And
saw
it's for,
there's. Yeah,
by the
go
way,
ahead.
it's worth mentioning that even if you don't use Nx and just use Qwik, you get a lot of this integration also because um, Adam and Manu spend a lot of time like thinking about that as well, like you know like adding, you can run quick add and choose like from several integrations and Tailwind and Vitess and all the stuff that you need, just like the Nx generators. But our plan is to to supply the same kind of fun and developer experience to the Qwik Nx plugin as well. So yeah, just throwing it out there. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. There's a question here from Elaine.
Elaine.
Is there an option to purge Tailwind for the produced CSS if relevant? I think it does that automatically, doesn't it? With the way it's set up, like
Yeah, with
I
post
believe it's
CSS, I think.
yeah. Post CSS is actually going to like whitelist to only include in the bundle the ones that you actually could potentially use. I believe. So yeah, that should be in there. And we have a question here for Qwik standalone. So that might be an interesting
Oh,
piece. So Dimitri, I
Yeah,
think that I saw that was on your roadmap. Is that true? Or sorry, I don't want to speak for you, but
yes, exactly. The steps that we are considering to implement in the nearest future, and yeah, we are really interested in doing that within Qwik Nx.
very cool.
yeah. So yeah,
Stay tuned.
basically, just so people will understand, it means that you could create, npx or pnpx, create Qwik Nx, and you can choose just a standalone app without like an Nx workspace with apps and libs and like a monorepo, just like a standalone, but getting all of the coolness of Nx, right? Like the generators and all of the cool things.
Migration.
But yeah, migrations and all that stuff without like necessarily having to have like the structure or having to think in monorepo, mental model and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the standalone stuff is really exciting for me because I really think like we had been mentioning, like a lot of the tools that NX gives you, like yes, we kind of designed them for like a mono repo mindset, but they're super helpful outside of that context too. Like I would use it for just a regular project too that wasn't necessarily a mono repo, but maybe it wants to be at some point. Like that would be a nice option to have, and that's kind of what a standalone preset kind of gives you the room to do. Is you start out with NX and you get all the great stuff for it out of the box, and maybe at some point you want to migrate that over to a real mono repo because maybe there's another app that you want to do that reuses some of the stuff, but you don't want to
But
go through
Zach,
publishing.
how would you migrate? Wouldn't be like a huge task to do?
Nope. Nope. You press a button on the NX console.
Yeah, with
So
NX. Okay. Oh, so, yeah.
exactly. That's where it all comes from. I did have this question from Bruno that he asked a while ago. Bruno, if you're still here, thank you for waiting patiently for us to get to it. But this was an interesting piece for me. Maybe this is more for Shy. Parallel comparison between Qwik and then React Server components. A brief explanation on how each one behaves. Now I've got some cursory knowledge of React Server components, so I think those are very interesting. In particular, what it's going to mean for changes coming through. But yeah, I'm curious about how Qwik fits into that, and what like the parallels would be there for how Qwik works with a server versus React Server components working with a server. So
Yeah.
it,
So that's a that's a heavy topic just to explain
I wanted to make sure we
both.
saved it for the end. But yeah.
Yeah. That's like and also I would just say this for now, okay, because it's still a work in progress.
Hmm.
But basically, a lot of the let's say building blocks of Qwik enables you to have the ability to have like code that runs on the server. We have like server functions that Manu added recently, and like in the past few weeks, I think Manu from the core team, the Qwik team, actually spoke with Dan Abramov and shared ideas, and because in the Qwik team we always believe in collaboration and to be collaborative and not like and share and contribute to other projects and stuff like that, and also get inspiration and get feedback from other framework creators. So actually in like the past few days there have been some work. So basically if I need to summarize it, is that um, React Server components in some use cases adds an ability that Qwik didn't implement yet, um, for that extra optimization. But in let's say that it's been in the works now, so it might like this like added extra ability might be added to Qwik soon, and then basically there will be let's say in this, so it will be like React Server components plus JavaScript streaming, which is
Mm.
like currently you know even with React Server components, you still need to go through hydrations, and you still need to do manual optimizations, and you still need to go through all of that. So that change, like recently we saw the React team talks about how they it's not the direction that they want to go in, like in terms of like actually implementing all the this uh, this way of making it automatic, which is fair because it will mean, I think, that breaking all of the APIs of React and all the ecosystem and courses, and it's a giant step. It's just like moving from Angular JS to Angular 2, if you remember the good old days of like migrating from that.
Yeah.
um but that's what I love about, like, as a general theme about React Server components, about the research that Ryan Carniato does with Solid and Solid Start and the team there,
Hmm.
and other frameworks, all the the popular frameworks, yeah, sharing the love between
Yeah.
Mishko and Ryan, um, is that we are all basically as frameworks are researching the what's like how can we improve the user experience and the developer experience, okay? And React Server component is one of those efforts of how can we make the user experience much better, and also how can we think about the developer experience and make sure that we have boundaries and we have like different stuff that prevent developers from making mistakes. So there's a lot of thought that went into React Server Components. There's a lot of thought that goes into other frameworks, and in the Qwik team we're giving it a lot of thought to make sure that we keep our philosophy, and also we keep the developer experience very, very nice and intuitive and such. So that's basically, without getting into the technical details that will lead to another hour of
Yeah.
live stream and stuff.
You don't want to be here for another hour, Shy?
Mhm.
You do. You want to be here for another hour, right?
Oh, you ask if I don't want to be? Of course I want to be. And we still need to, if you want to generate like a route or a component or
Nah,
like
nah, nah. I think I'm good on that. But I don't know. This question in particular is interesting to me, and because you had mentioned it in light of the Angular to Angular 2 migration or lack thereof. So,
Mhm.
and yeah, I like this in the chat. Solid plus Qwik equals squid. But yeah, it's like from what I can understand, signals are actually a core piece of Solid as well. Like that's or not of Solid, of Qwik, as a
Yeah.
way of just like doing your state management. So yeah, that's maybe what this picture shows most the best is just that collaboration there between the two frameworks to figure out
Yeah,
how to
and
get those
shout out
things
to
right.
Ryan. So Ryan Carniato, you just saw him there alongside Mishko,
Yeah.
who created Qwik and also Angular. Ryan Carniato is definitely a one of a kind guy, and like, first of all, if you don't watch his like weekly streams, do it. You learn a lot. I called it, or I'm calling him the performance professor. Is one of the the world experts on performance, and especially in JavaScript performance and such.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great figure in the JavaScript ecosystem. um Very uh, a super nice person, very collaborative, sharing idea. Is one of the first people who ever wrote about Qwik and identified what it took me like at least a year later to to click for me, and I learned a lot from him as well. So just have so many great things to say about this great person. So yeah, so he actually, when in the early days of Qwik, he actually shared a lot of feedback about how stuff can be better, and he does it for all of the frameworks, right? Like he actually examined all of the frameworks, and learns them, and also suggests like what could be better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of improvements that went into Qwik was because of Ryan and his feedback. But yeah, we believe in the power of the signal, right? I think it makes for a very, very easy developer experience, not having to think about dependency arrays, not
Mm-hmm.
having to wire up like bunch of like complicated set of dependencies that you need to figure out like how to wire together and to make sure they're still intact. So yeah, so signals are a big thing, and I'm happy also to see that Angular added them. I like in I was part of the research there, the research group of like giving feedback for the Angular team about the developer experience with the new Signals API. So yeah, so that's that's the philosophy again
Mm-hmm.
of Qwik, like to be collaborative and to respect. It's one of our community values to respect all of the solutions, and not to bash anyone, not to like say stick to trying to advance the web forward, and to do it together as one big JavaScript family, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%, man. And I love those values too. Let me see if I can find the original question here from Bruno. So I think you touched on this too, Shai, when you were mentioning it. It's like there's kind of two sometimes competing concerns when it comes to like when you implement something like this, right? And so like whereas React server components, I feel like they are very much focused on the developer experience, and they're trying to make that as good as possible, and just focus on that and say, well, performance, it may be bad. Like it could be bad if you do things wrong with React server components. But if you're wise and smart, you'll be able to fix those, and it will be possible to have good performance with React server components. But it will also be very possible for performance to be very poor. Whereas I feel like Qwik's approach to taking things is the developer's experience will be good, and you won't have to concern yourself with performance. That appears to be the approach that Qwik is taking. Is that fair?
Um, so one thing I would say is that I don't think the motivation for React server components, from what I've like uh, see like read and saw,
Mm-hmm.
is primarily like the developer experience was the main motivation. No, it was the user experience which was the motivation, because other than that you could just like stay in spa land, right? And or like with
Oh, I
hydration
see.
land. So right,
Yeah.
the idea was to, because the shift has already began.
Mm-hmm.
We started in 2016 to move back to the server with Next and with the Angular Universal back in the day, and
Yeah.
Next and others, right? And we already, like, the new SSR, server side rendering, has started.
Mm-hmm.
So we can
So
go
so
back,
yeah.
right?
So SSR is to your point. That's a user experience concern. Like
Of course.
devs, it's actually makes things harder for us as devs to support that. But the server side rendering piece, that's something that's going to make it better for our users, because like the performance will be better. The if they're on a slow connection, they'll still be able to use our application. So that's where the
Mm,
server side rendering piece comes in. Or,
yeah,
or am I missing something?
the server side rendering experience is for the initial load
Mm-hmm.
mainly. So you'll get the instant loading experience. So you'll see something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily say that, if you have a bad connection, you'll start to interact with it. That depends on the size of your app, the technique, the manual optimization that you did or didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I show in my lecture and in the course as well, in the end of the course, I show a demo. I took like two frameworks, and I stripped all of the identifiers so you cannot tell which frameworks they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed, and I stripped everything also from the. I took like the starter, like just generated a new one, build it for production, and the preview, so it will be the optimized. And I
Mm-hmm.
removed everything from the page and just showed like just an input box with a binding, like that you can type and see like the text like being binded, right?
Sure.
That means that there is JavaScript, right?
Right.
And so it's the simplest page ever, no JavaScript, like very tiny JavaScript that you can show. And I took a Qwik app with like lots of interactivity. In my lecture, I showcase like the starter with like they had like other things on the page, so it's not just like this one input. And I'm adding an input box to that already filled with like JavaScript filled page. Okay. And then what I did, I uh, spun up like a preview server, and I open up the DevTools, put it on slow 3G,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you could like see, emulate like the slow device or like slow network. And I I show the audience like, hey, count with me. I'm hitting like I'm getting to the URL and I'm trying to locate like the input box.
Yeah.
and starting to type like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see that there's no binding, like, and in one framework actually lose your state, so you can like start think about the user start filling his first name, and all of a sudden it get deleted because the hydration finished, right?
Right.
And on the other one it preserved the state, but it only started being interactive from like number 9 or something like that, like after 9 seconds.
Mhm.
And then I show Qwik, and it's instant,
Yeah.
no matter if it's slow 3G or something like that. So that's like
I see.
it won't help you, the SSR alone
SSR
with
alone isn't
hydration.
enough to make a good user experience. Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the we had the live stream for the Qwik announcement, the 1.0,
Mhm.
and we brought in several people to showcase their results from building with Qwik in production. One of the results, Antoine from Rosa, a company that you can search for doctors, to get appointments and stuff like that. He actually shared with us that they showcased a demo for the app in a meeting room with like bad connectivity. And usually when they showcased it with a different framework before, like earlier versions, people couldn't use like the actual screen. And you're looking looking
Is
at,
this
yeah,
it?
you're fast,
I'm trying to see
you're
if I can
quick,
find
dude.
quick stuff in here.
Yeah, I think
But
this is it. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it is.
Yeah, yeah, it should be it, but this is like it doesn't seem like, if you search like the elements, you will see if if this is the quick version.
mhm.
uh yeah, you see QID, yeah, you see QID, you see
Q
all this
key.
stuff. This means, yeah, this
That
is
those are
quick.
quick specific attributes, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
take it to, I think if you take this page to page speed score or page speed from Google or Lighthouse or something like that.
Let's throw on Lighthouse, see what happens. But
Yeah. And this also depends on when you run Lighthouse, I think on your machine, it depends on how fast is your machine or something like that. And
yeah,
if you do it like in page speed, I think it does it in a lab environment or something like that.
a controlled
um
environment. Yeah,
Controlled environment,
that's
yeah.
pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. uh, Compare it with others, right?
mhm.
And they actually show where they start from, like which result they start from. I think time to if you scroll down, um can you scroll down on the
Oh yeah,
lighthouse
sorry.
page?
Not
Yeah.
even on the page. Yeah.
If you go up to the no to the scores, yeah,
Mhm.
what they said basically, no, scroll a bit down, just a bit, yeah. So I don't see the time to interactive, but basically what they said, that the measure, I think the time to interactive or something like that, and
Mhm.
they went from 8 seconds to 700 milliseconds
Wow.
just by using Qwik instead of other technologies.
I wonder if that's
So
somewhere down here, but no, I don't see it.
yeah.
But okay.
Anyway, so the point is that just SSR alone with the hydration won't give you the in slow connection or like bad connectivity. But when they showed the demo with Qwik, this version, in the meeting room where
Mhm.
all the stakeholders were and stuff like that, everybody, even with the bad reception, all that stuff, could like actually use it and such.
Yeah.
And it blew their mind because they weren't expecting it to work. So remember when you said like, oh, in bad connection I would have like this like latency when I click on the button, but because
Yeah.
of the streaming, it actually better because they're like tiny chunks, so it's much better for slow connections and
Yeah.
bad
And,
connectivity.
and server side rendering alone isn't going to fix that for you, like we
Yeah,
said, without
yeah,
having that piece in. Like you need all of the stuff that Quick gives you in order to get that to get like the full experience well with a slow connection. So
I really like an example that Mishka showed, where if you add a click handler with a console log, uh, it can actually display that log after you click a button without loading a framework. So it can only grab that specific closure and execute it without
Hmm.
the framework itself.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
another. Yeah, that's another optimization basically that Qwik has. I told you about, like in the course we get like deeper into showing it with and demoing it. But basically, Qwik has this thing called dynamic tree shaking, meaning because on SSR time it knows to analyze the app and can see which parts are totally static and won't ever be interactive. So it
Right.
just
Just
sends
tree shake
it
them
as,
off.
yeah, just as pure HTML, and it knows that you probably won't need a framework, like Dima said. If you just add like a console log somewhere, so we'll
Hmm.
just ship the console log part without the framework at all because you don't need it.
Yeah.
So that's like, that's all the micro optimization that went into 2 years of developing this framework. So getting back to server components, um, so it's I every all the innovation that came, like, started with server side rendering, which then led to, okay, we have this, but the iteration cost is too much. Let's try and figure out a way to reduce this. So you have server components, which is a way to utilize the same code that or the same server side mechanism, server side rendering mechanism that you
Hmm.
can invoke on the server, and also run like loading the data on the server and all that stuff that reduce, so it's for user experience, to improve the user experience, right?
Hmm.
And I think that it actually, on the developer experience side, it adds more rules that you need to follow now in order to gain those user experience.
Hmm.
So there's always, like, in the course, in my lecture, I show like the negative correlation between user experience and developer experience most of the time. So every time we went through the evolution of new generation of web frameworks, you always see, like, when developer experience goes up, user experience goes down, and when
Yeah.
user experience goes up, developers experience goes down. And what I saw with Qwik, and that was the aha moment, is that for the first time, developer experience goes up and user experience goes up at the same time because it's automatic. Now, of course, user experience in that context is just like loading time and performance, all that stuff. User experience is a wide topic,
Hmm.
but I'm talking about, like, the user experience in terms of like performance and stuff. But it's the first time that it becomes automatic, and every time developers get an automatic tool, just like with state management. Think about state management. It started with like DOM management, because back in the day we needed to write our own JavaScript DOM statements to update the DOM and stuff, and then
Yeah.
we had frameworks that does it for us,
Right.
and later on, like JSX and all that stuff, right? So somebody else, the framework, is taking care of it automatically and does it in a performant way and stuff. And then state management, we needed to like manually figure out how to synchronize and all that stuff. And then we added, like, Redux, which was the next step in the evolution. Then reactivity, right, which made it automatic, right? Signals, making it automatic. So developers start to want that, right, and to reach for the automatic tool.
Yeah.
So Qwik, the first time we have automatic performance optimization, right? Like the first time. Because every other solution does it, you need to do it manually. So anyway,
Hmm.
that's so still you have with rack server components and other solutions, like I told you, you need to still do it manually. But I think that the research that they're doing with that, and they keep it's not the end of the story there. We still have, like, they're still introducing a new compiler, and lots of innovations. And again, that's making us all better. The stuff that Ryan is doing with Solid is inspiring. They're looking all the frameworks are looking at each other and getting better because of
Yeah.
it. So
That's
that's why I
actually
love it.
really encouraging, like as opposed to like the Angular versus React discussions. Now it feels more like there's this spirit of collaboration going on between the different frameworks, and that's that picture we were showing before. Let me throw that up again. I feel like that just embodies that. I just love this. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
really cool to see that.
that's
But
what we're trying to promote in the Quick team, in the community. Like you'll get go to the Quick Discord and you'll see like people won't judge anyone from using Quick and React and Angular and Svelte, and like nobody will judge you. Everybody will celebrate everything, because we want the best ideas to win and to inspire each other
yeah,
and such. So
unless you're
yeah.
using jQuery, and then you can just
Ah,
get out.
and Tailwind, and Tailwind,
No, that one's cool. But yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right, y'all. I've kept y'all here for like 2 hours now. So thanks so much for spending all this time with me and explaining to me about Qwik and all the cool stuff that you've done, Dimitri, with setting things up for NX. Super appreciative for all that work you've done. So thanks, man. That's really cool. I'm excited to see people get their hands on it and be able to explore Qwik with with the powers of NX at their fingertips. So. Thanks,
yeah.
man.
What, what,
That's awesome that
what,
you did all that. So
It should
what,
be much more in the future.
yeah, well, I'm
yeah,
looking forward to that too.
I want to add to that. Dima is one of the nicest and smartest developers that I had the pleasure to collaborate with, and so thank you very much, Dima, for all of that you've done and continue doing, and yeah, and keep up the great work.
Yes, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And thanks both of you for joining us. And Shai, just seeing like your impact on the wider community, that made this really special for me too. Like I think someone was they were talking about like the Angular 2 moment where Angular 2 went to or Angular went to Angular 2 and there's all these changes going on, and they showed one of your videos like explaining those changes and just realizing how long ago that was and seeing like the quality of the stuff that you had been putting out like years ago. Like you were the OG for all this stuff. So yeah, really an honor to have you on the stream here too, Shai. Be able to explain some of the cool stuff you've been doing here with high res, with your new course, and all the stuff you've been working on with Qwik. That was special.
Thank you very
Thanks for coming
much.
by, man. But yeah,
Appreciate it, and yeah, like I told you before we started, like it's an honor to share the stream with you. We know each other for a long time. We actually met and hang out, and oh no, panic.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
me calling back to the very start of the stream. That was me thinking about my house on fire. That was going through my head. It was like, what would Shy do right now? Oh no,
Oh
panic.
no, panic. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's from the NG show from 2016. Yeah, when the Angular 2 moment with Martin. Yeah, Martin Probst, which was one of the Angular team, very super nice guy as well. And yeah, he had the bit of like, oh no, he's such a nice German person, like very polite, very like reserved, and it was like, so Angular 2 is coming. Oh no, panic. It's like it was very like, I find it very funny, and I asked him for permission to actually show it in the talk. So yeah, funny talk. And apparently there's an Angular documentary in the works or something like that. So that
Oh
that
yeah.
would be a cool one. Yeah.
Well, that sounds really interesting. I saw the React documentary they came out with a little while
Yeah, it
back. Is
was
it the
great.
same? Is it the same people that will be making the Angular one?
I know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope so, because the React documentary was amazing,
Yeah.
really, really high quality. So I hope so. But yeah, it's nice to see that it's not just for sports and I don't know, like movie stars. It's also for our small community of nerds that want to
Yeah.
know about the backstory behind the frameworks and the tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, that's one of the fun things about the world we live in now. Like the internet has connected us so much. Like So Dimitri's in Ukraine. Shai, you're in Israel right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the deserts of Arizona. Look at us, the three of us coming together out of nowhere because of our common interest in JavaScript frameworks and JavaScript stuff and NX. And yeah, how would we have found each other otherwise? It's just really cool to see all
Yep.
those connections happening. But yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, the Qwik documentary will be here quick. It sounds like that would be a cool documentary to see too. Just
It will be a
Builder
1
IO
minute,
come in together and all that stuff. But
a 1 minute documentary. It will be super quick.
yeah,
Um,
it'll be
yeah.
as quick as your time to interactive, 700 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, on that note, I already thanked y'all. Let's end the stream, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks, y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye.